Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then hi, I'm Anusha. I'm originally from India. Currently, I'm doing my core training in the specialty psychiatry here in London. Oh my god, it's been so long I've given this introduction. So excited to be back to be filming vlogs again. I literally feel like it's been so many months. I've lost touch with filming vlogs. So please forgive me if there are any errors with filming and editing of this video. Before I dive into this video, I just wanted to say a big thank you to you guys. You guys sent in such warm and lovely DMs and comments and messages on my birthday. It means so much to me. I really did not expect this and I felt so overwhelmed and I kept telling everyone that I don't deserve this, I don't deserve this. I literally feel the same way. I just hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. I don't want to use the term followers, it feels so strange. So I want to say that we're a family of 10,000 people and it's amazing. I just cannot believe it. I do try and read a lot of DMs that you guys send me. Sometimes I just keep deleting them because it's just too much and I feel really overwhelmed, and I think the primary motive is to look after my own mental health as well before I do anything for others. So when I feel really overwhelmed, I just delete all the DMs. I don't even bother to go through it, and I know that's not the right way to do it, but I'm so sorry. Sometimes it's just something I have to do, but I do manage to read a lot of the DMs you guys send me, and I go through the questions which almost are, you know, similar a lot of times. A lot of the questions I've answered in my previous videos. A lot of the questions I had planned to address them in subsequent videos and make, like, you know, a proper series about them, but I haven't been able to do that. So what I thought is that, you know, the most common questions I get asked in my DMs or in the comment section on YouTube, I'm going to put it all in one place so that, you know, the next time someone else asks me, I can literally just link this video to them. I'm going to answer 13 questions that I have written down, which I've realized are the most common questions or FAQs asked by IMGs, and probably I would have had the same questions a couple of years back as well in my head. So this is called IMG FAQs. We'll see if this turns out to be a series where, you know, if I see there are a few questions that I haven't addressed in this video, I'll probably make subsequent videos about IMG FAQs, like part 2, part 3 and all that. So this is IMG FAQs. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. So the first question I've written down is PLAB and MRCP question mark, which is better, which pathway to choose. First and foremost, I cannot be making a decision for you between PLAB and MRCP. I can lay down all the information for you and you can then make the decision, because people literally DM me asking me, so which one should I choose? Can you please tell me? Which makes me very uncomfortable because I wouldn't be too comfortable making someone else's career choices. Neither would I ask someone else to make my career choices. So having said that, PLAB is a licensing exam. It is basically to just grant you license to practice medicine in the UK. MRCP, MRCS, MRCGP, MRC Psych, MRCPH, these are all Royal College exams. So basically there are criteria for you to be giving parts of these exams. Say MRC Psych has 3 parts. There's paper A, paper B, and then there's CASC exam, which is the OSCE exam. Anybody can be giving these exams anywhere in the world if you meet the criteria of, you know, the parts of the exam. Like some of the criteria are you should have worked for a year in psychiatry to give a certain part of the exam. So anybody even sitting in India without having any plans to moving to UK can give MRC Psych exam or MRC OG exam or MRCS. Any of these membership Royal College exams. These are membership exams. You know, it's like having, after MBBS, MD, you might see people write MRCS or MRC Psych. Title written after, you know, all the qualifications that they have done in their life. If you clear all the parts of these exams, say MRCP, all the 3 parts, or MRC Psych, all the 3 parts, if you clear them, then you get granted GMC license. You can apply for GMC license if you've cleared all these parts of these exams. Once you apply for GMC license, then obviously that means that, you know, you're eligible to be working in the UK. A lot of people tend not to work because they just want the title written after their qualifications. Some people obviously give the Royal College exams with the intention of coming to UK to work. Once you enter into UK to work, you wouldn't be recognized as a consultant. You wouldn't be recognized as a trainee. You would start at the same level as, you know, anybody else applying for jobs. Not in the same level, like qualification wise, but, you know, you would start the process at the same level of applying for jobs. So you could apply for a registrar post, which would be a non-training again, or you could apply for ST equivalent posts, unless you're applying for training. So these are all non-training posts which you would apply for and you would work over here, unless you apply for higher training. So higher training again has different procedure of getting into. Once you clear your Royal College exams, you apply for GMC license, and once you get your GMC license, you would apply for either training posts or non-training posts. If you've done your PG, which is post-graduation in India, that is not recognized here, all right? So you wouldn't be working here as a consultant. You have to do your higher training over here here or your specialty training over here for you to be a consultant over here. So once you've cleared your Royal College exams, you wouldn't be recognized as a consultant here. You will have to do your higher training over here to be recognized as a consultant. With regards to PLAB exams, I have in-depth explained it. It's in my previous videos, you can watch them, but I'm going to just quickly touch upon it. PLAB exams are licensing exams. Once you've cleared your PLAB exams, you get your GMC license, then you apply for training or non-training post. You know, then the pathway is that you get into core training, and then you get into specialty training, and then you become a consultant. So that's the pathway for PLAB exams. For MRCP, MRCOG, MRCS, and all of those exams, I would recommend if someone has done their PG back home in India, I would recommend them to do the Royal College exams to then apply for, you know, jobs over here. You can continue working as a non-trainee, like at a registrar level, or then you can apply for your higher training and then you can become a consultant. I hope I have cleared that. I'm literally trying to break it down in as simple words as possible. I hope that has made sense to you guys. PLAB exams are just licensing exams. It is not a degree, it's just a licensing exam for you to get GMC license to then enter into the system to apply for, you know, either a non-training job, a training job, get into core training, specialty training, become a consultant. Royal College exams, again, they give you GMC license and then you can apply for jobs over here at, you know, whatever level based on your qualifications from back home in India. You can work as a non-trainee as well, non-trainee registrar or non-trainee specialty doctor equivalent jobs after clearing your Royal College exams, and then apply for, if you want to get into training, higher training and become a consultant. I really hope I've explained that. These are not courses. PLAB is not a course. Royal College exams are not a course. These are just exams for you to get your GMC license to then enter into training. PLAB exams are for you to get GMC license. Royal College exams are for you to become a member of the Royal College. So these are membership exams. I hope I have made that clear. Should I apply to move to the UK after MBBS or after doing MD from India? It really depends what your long-term goals are. If your long-term goals are to be, you know, training in the UK, then I think the best pathway, I'm a little biased because I've done PLAB, is post MBBS, post your internship, apply for PLAB exams, clear both the parts of the PLAB exams, get your GMC license, apply for non-training post, get to understand the system better, and then apply for a training post. I think that is the most straightforward, but also, you know, it helps you learn the system from ground level zero. Yeah, I think I'm a little biased towards that. So I would say probably post MBBS. But if you're somebody who's currently doing a PG in India and is planning to enter UK, then I think you should give the Royal College exams, but the Royal College exams are pretty difficult. If you haven't worked in the UK, the OSCE part of the exam is quite difficult for you to pass, and the statistics say that, you know, international medical graduates tend to fail much more in the Royal College exams than UK medical graduates. You could still give PLAB exams after doing your PG in India. Come here, do non-training job. While you're doing the non-training job, apply for the Royal College exams or apply for training, core training, because there's so many consultants in psychiatry that I know who are from India and from Pakistan who have done their PG from their home countries and then they've come here via PLAB pathway or any other pathway, and then they've entered core training and done core training all over again and specialty training all over again and are consultants now. Because nobody is literally on a time frame over here. I think this is such a South Asian, at least Indian mentality, where you're literally on a time frame all the time, that oh, by 30 I should have done my PG, or by 35 I should have done my PG, or by 30 I should be married, by 35 I should have kids. Literally nobody is on a time frame over here. Everybody takes their own sweet time to figure out life and to figure out their careers. People are in their, you know, 50s and 60s switch careers as well. Like someone might have been a practicing psychiatrist and becomes a GP, or somebody might have a GP and then becomes a psychiatrist, or, you know, like someone who was doing surgery for so many years decides to become a psychiatrist, and like nothing is set in stone. So if you're doing your PG right now in India, you have two choices. You can either give PLAB exams or give the Royal College exams and then come into the UK. If you're doing MBBS right now, then you can post your MBBS. I would recommend doing PLAB as soon as you can. Should I move to UK? It really depends on what your situation is currently and what your long-term goals are. Should I give PLAB during internship or after? This is another question that has been asked a lot, especially in my previous video that I posted where I said that, guys, you have to clear your internship before you apply for PLAB exams. Let me clarify that. What I meant is that you need to have your primary medical qualification in place before you apply for your PLAB exams. A lot of colleges give their primary medical qualification sometimes even before you've completed your internship. My college didn't. I had to finish my internship to get my primary medical qualification to apply for PLAB exams. But if your college is providing you with, even if it's temporary or provisional medical license you can apply for PLAB exams via that as well. I was just talking from my own experiences. I should have been more clear. But if you've got the provisional medical license as well, then you can apply for the PLAB exams. If your college is not providing that and you need to complete your internship, then post-internship, you need to apply for the PLAB exam. So it really depends how your college functions. Is there going to be a saturation with IMGs in 2023, 2024, 2025, etc.? Oh my god, guys, I cannot predict the future. If I could, I would. The first thing I would predict is when is the pandemic going to end. I do not know if there's going to be any saturation like this month, this year, next year, 5 years later, 50 years later. I am nobody to predict that. Having said that, no country in this world will ever say no to hiring doctors. That is something you need to remember. There's always going to be shortage in healthcare systems. So people who are spreading these lies that, oh, there's, saturation and that's why, you're not getting training posts or non-training posts or whatever, I think these are absolute lies. You need to look into your own CV. Maybe you're missing out on something. You need to look into yourself. Like, maybe you're not doing that well in the interviews. Sometimes we do have cold feet, like even I do. So maybe, look into those bits and try to improve that instead of coming up with excuses that, oh, there's saturation and that is why someone's not getting a job and things like that. Next question. There are a whole lot of questions you guys have asked me about UKMLA, like what is UKMLA, when will it replace PLAB, what if I clear PLAB 1 and before I give PLAB 2 exams UKMLA comes into place. So UKMLA is going to be basically a medical licensing assessment. MLA stands for medical licensing assessment, which is going to come into effect in 2024, and all the international medical graduates who would have sat for the PLAB test will start to take the MLA if they're applying for registration and a license to practice in the UK. Alright, this information is all in place in GMC's official website. I'm going to put a link down below in my description box so that you guys can go and check that link out. This is not just for international medical graduates, even the UK medical graduates from the academic year of 2024-2025 will have to start sitting for the UKMLA exams before they can get the GMC license. So everybody will have to start sitting for the UKMLA exams. And for international medical graduates, because this video is dedicated to international medical graduates, from 2024, we are in 2021, we literally have 3 more years. After that is when UKMLA is going to come into place. If you have, by the time UKMLA comes into place, these are the different scenarios. If you have by then passed both your PLAB parts, but haven't applied for your GMC license, you will not have to sit for the UKMLA because you've passed both the parts of PLAB by then, but you would have 2 years window to apply for your GMC license. In case you do not apply for your GMC license after having passed your PLAB 2 in those 2 years, then obviously you've lost your chance and then you'll have to give the UKMLA exams. Even if you've given the PLAB 1 exam and by then UKMLA comes into effect, obviously by then PLAB has been scraped off and you can't sit PLAB 2. So you don't have to sit for the UKMLA's part 1 exam, which is like the PLAB 1 exam, which is MCQ based exam. You'll have to only sit the part 2 exam of UKMLA, which is CPSA, which is Clinical and Professional Skills Assessment Test. So that is like an OSCE exam, like how PLAB 2 is. So you don't have to panic that, oh my god, I've cleared 1 exam, I have to resit 2 exams again. You don't have to sit for the first part of UKMLA, you only have to sit for the part 2 of UKMLA. If you have given PLAB 1 and you haven't passed it and UKMLA comes into effect, then obviously you have to sit for both the parts of UKMLA and PLAB has been scraped off by then. And if you have given PLAB 1 and you have given PLAB 2 but you failed PLAB 2 and UKMLA comes into effect, I mean, by now you guys can understand, then you have to only sit for the part 2 exam of UKMLA, which is the CPSA exam. So these are all the bits about, transitioning between PLAB and UKMLA. Like mentioned on the website, they've just said it's going to come into effect from 2024. They haven't given the exact dates or the month or when it's going to come into effect, so I can't be commenting on that. But you have 3 years until then to worry about PLAB, so please stop worrying about UKMLA. You can worry about it once it comes into effect, and that's when you're going to be preparing for the exams and things like that. Please worry about things which are in your control. You do not know what GMC is going to change 3 years later, 4 years later. So for now, if you're preparing for PLAB exams, please prepare for PLAB exams. Don't think of UKMLA. If you're currently doing your internship, start planning for PLAB exams, at what time in the year you want to give it and things like that. If you're currently doing your MBBS, please study for MBBS. Do not think about PLAB and what's going to happen 5-6 years later. This is not the time to think about it. Our plates are always full when we are doing our MBBS, so please concentrate on that. Worry about passing your MBBS exams. Don't think about, internship and post-internship and things like that. I hope I have clarified that. So next question I get asked a lot is, do we get paid during foundation training or core training or specialty training? Obviously you get paid. You are a doctor, you're working over here, you're providing service, you're in training. Why would you not get paid? This question really baffles me when people ask me that, oh, do you get paid to work as a doctor? Obviously you get paid to work as a doctor. Would you not pay anybody else if they were doing the job anywhere in the world? Yeah, to answer your question, you do get paid in your foundation years, you do get paid in your core training years, you do get paid in your specialty training, you get paid as a consultant, you get paid since the moment you are a doctor. So yeah, there's no issues with you not getting paid. There is no disparity between pays being an IMG or a UK medical graduate. Everybody, if you're at the same level, gets paid the same. A lot of people have asked me that as well. Do you get paid lesser than UK doctors? No, you don't. If you're at the same level, you will not get paid any different. I have made an elaborate video on the pay scale of doctors in the UK. I'll put a link up above here. You can go and watch that. It's got all the details and all the information about how much you get paid at each level in your training, starting from foundation doctors to becoming a consultant. So next question I get asked a lot is that, do we have to do FY2 post MBBS and internship? Post MBBS in India, you've got 1 year of internship. Post MBBS over here, you've got 2 years of foundation training. It's not compulsory for you to do a foundation training post, but it's compulsory for you to have 2 years of post MBBS foundation training kind of experience. So you can always do 1 year of non-training foundation post over here, if that makes any sense. Like if you've done your MBBS from India, you've done your internship from India, and when you apply for jobs over here, you don't have to do foundation training, but you they usually word it as, you know, non-FY2 or like junior clinical fellow FY2, or like even like jobs like CT1 equivalent, which are all these non-training jobs. Anything that you do as 1 year over here will count towards you working as a junior doctor, foundation level doctor, if that makes any sense. So I'll talk about my own journey. I did MBBS from India, then I did 1 year of internship from India, and after that I was preparing for a few months for NEET exams and DNB exams. Midway preparing, I decided I don't want to do this anymore. It was just not my kind of, like, I'm trying to word it politely, it was not my kind of vibe, I'm gonna put it that way. And then I luckily had a lot of friends from my college who were by then, you know, working in the UK, like they had given their PLAB exams, some had gotten into training by then, and they all supported me and they were like, you know, just give this a shot, go for it, thank God. So then I started preparing for PLAB exams and I gave my PLAB exams. So when I applied for jobs over here, I looked up on NHS Jobs website. I looked for all kinds of jobs, like junior level, non-training, foundation level jobs, which had words like FY2 written on it, or had like a junior clinical fellow or CT1 equivalent or FY2 equivalent, things like that, because they might be different terms that I used in the NHS Jobs profile, but they all mean the same thing, that your job is basically you are kind of at the level of a foundation trainee doctor. So that 1 year that I did, that counted like an FY2. I wasn't rotated through rotations because it wasn't a training post, it was a non-training job, but it counted as a foundation doctor. You don't have to get into FY2 training, but you can look for non-training jobs which are foundation level equivalent. I hope I've made sense. Next is, should I apply only for FY1, FY2 jobs post my MBBS? So this is something I've kind of answered in the previous question. You can look for jobs which are either FY1, FY2 or CT1 equivalent, or, you know, junior clinical fellow or SHO jobs. These are all the same thing. So when you look up on the NHS Jobs website, you can use the filter of all these words and look for jobs, you know, which specify that. Best thing would be to go to job specifications, where you can see what the duties or responsibilities would be. That also kind of gives an idea that, you know, what level would you be when you start working. Also, a lot has to do with how much work experience you have from back home. Like I didn't have much work experience from India. I only did my 1 year internship. Beyond that, I hadn't worked. If you have got like many years of working as a junior doctor, or, you know, how in India it's called house officer, or a junior resident who is technically not doing their PG or in residency, you know what I mean. So if you've got that, then you can always make it count towards, you know, you being hired. So, you know, when you're applying for jobs, or you're giving your interviews, or, you know, when they are sending you a job contract. So because it's a non-training post, you can negotiate and do things like that. You wouldn't be doing that in a training post. Non-training obviously wouldn't be as the same as the trainee doctor. I'll probably have to make a separate video about training doctor and non-training doctor. Not going to get into that. Post MBBS, not only FY1, FY2, you can look for all these jobs which are equivalent to a junior doctor's jobs. Your years of experience as working, you know, as a junior doctor in India, like you can make it count while you're sitting in an interview. And I'm not saying everybody is going to take it into account. It depends from trust to trust and panel to panel, whoever is interviewing you, but you can always give it a shot. I've seen a few people who have worked from back home in India and have made it count towards their job contract over here. So yeah, you can do that. I mean, no kind of experience ever goes to waste. So do we have to pay to do PG training residency in the UK? A lot of you guys have been asking me that. A lot of you guys have been confused when I say it's free. No, you don't have to pay for your PG training or residency in the UK. It's free. You actually get paid because you're providing service provision to NHS while you're doing your training. There is no fees for you to do training, but obviously you pay for your exams, which you pay for even in India. So you pay if you're giving the Royal College exams, you pay for your exam fees. But then if you're doing like, you know, courses and all, that comes out of your study budget and your trust pays it if you're a training doctor. No, so there are no fees for doing residency, PG or training in the UK. And a lot of you guys keep commenting in my videos saying that I'm lying. Why will I lie about this? You can please go on to any of the websites, and I mean, I don't even like, I don't know why I have to justify myself. I am a doctor here in the UK. I wouldn't be lying about the system. And so yeah, no, you don't have to pay for any fees for doing your training or your PG or your residency. Is it necessary to do a non-training job before applying for training? Okay, this is another question which I am going to speak only from my personal experience and from having seen a few other IMGs around me. I think you should do a non-training job. I think you should understand the system, trying to word it in the most polite manner as possible, because I have seen and I know if you've done your PG from back home in India, there's kind of a little air that comes with it that, oh, I'm a consultant, and you know what I'm saying. And when you come here, you feel like, oh, why do I have to work as a junior doctor? Why do I have to start from level 0? You really need to understand how you function and work in India is not in any way same to how it works over here. You need to be very mindful of that, and I would advise for you to do a non-training job at least for 6 months to a year before you apply for a training post, because with training post comes so much more responsibilities. Once you're in training, they expect you to know these things. They expect you to be taking up all the responsibility. You could literally start your training post and be on nights in the first week. Imagine moving from India and coming into UK. First job is a training post and you being on nights literally on the first week of starting out, or the second week. It's not the same, and I don't know how to put it across. So I would definitely advise you to do a non-training job before you start training, because with training jobs there are so many other things other than just doing your job. Like, you have got the Royal College exams that you need to give, you have got ARCP, you've got so many other things that are mandatory for you to be progressing every year, like from CD1 to CD2 to CD3, and it can feel like a lot, especially in a system where you haven't ever worked before. So I would definitely recommend you do a non-training post before you do a training job. A lot of people might say that, oh, you can just apply for training, maybe it'll click, and then you will be so happy that, oh my god, I'm moving to the UK and my first job is a training job. But once you come in here, you will understand and you'll realize that you do not know so much of the system. I'm not talking of your medical knowledge or your surgical knowledge or anything to do with your academics. I'm talking things out of academics. So please do consider doing a non-training job before doing a training job. I highly recommend that. Will I be able to have savings? What is the cost of living? Alright, this is another question that I get asked a lot. So many of you guys ask me how much I save per month, literally asking me the number. I'm not going to be saying that. But yes, you can have enough savings and have a good lifestyle and manage. But then again, it depends on your own lifestyle. It depends on which city you're living in. Like, London is expensive, and I'm lucky that I share the bills and things like that with my husband, so I don't live alone. If I was living alone in this country, I wouldn't probably be living in a 1-bedroom flat. I would probably be living in a house share, to be honest. So yeah, things like that. If you're living in bigger cities like London, obviously like the expenses are quite high, but if you're living in smaller towns, then it's so doable. But then again, it depends. If you are providing for other people as well, like if you've got a family, if you've got dependents, or if you're sending money home. A lot of factors come into play, so I cannot be saying that yes, definitely you will be saving. It really depends on your own responsibilities and your own lifestyle. Can I return to India after becoming consultant in the UK? Is the qualification from UK recognized in India? This is another question I get asked a lot. Yes. If you've done your training over here and once you're a consultant over here, your degree is recognized back home in India, you can most definitely go back and you can start practicing there in India again. Having said that, obviously your Indian license should be also valid by then, okay? It's not just that because you've got your UK medical license. The qualifications are recognized there, but you obviously need to have your medical license in the country wherever you're going to be working, if that's the long-term plan of going back. Alright, this is the last question where I get asked, where did I do my medical college from? Was it in India or was it from UK? I did my medical college from India. I studied in Bharatiya Vidyapeeth, Pune in Maharashtra. That's where I did my 4.5 years of MBBS and I did my 1 year of rotatory internship from there. I hope I've answered all the frequently asked questions by IMGs on my Instagram page and on my YouTube channel. If you have any further questions, please drop it down in the comment section below. I'll probably compile them all and make a part 2 if there are questions which, you know, if I haven't addressed them in my previous videos or in this video. Just a last thing, that a lot of the information that you guys asked for, I've answered and addressed them in my previous videos. So all you have to do is literally watch the video and I've answered it there. It becomes a little difficult for me to respond back to everybody individually. I hope you understand that because I've got a lot of things on my plate. Alright, I hope I've answered all your questions. Sometimes I don't end up answering them in my DMs because it's not possible to answer everybody individually. That's the reason why I've put all the questions here in one place, and I hope that's answered all your doubts. I think we've reached the end of the video. I hope you're keeping safe and looking after yourself and your loved ones. And I hope you've smashed the like button of this video, and we are almost reaching 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Cannot believe it. So yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do. And thank you so much for the love and the support, and I will be much more frequent with my videos now, so I'll be back to putting out one video a week. See you in the next video. Keep safe. Bye. Mwah.